Let's discuss a few concepts while memorizing the steps involved that will take you to identify different paths for your network diagram. For ease, we will use the same example that we discussed in our previous lecture. If you recall, I asked you to forego some part of the previous lecture when we were determining the float value of activity A. Remember? Let's learn about that as well. The float of activity A as an example can be calculated by using either of the two formulas. Total float equals late start minus early start, or total float equals late finish minus early finish. Using either of these two formulas, we find the total float of activity A to be 0. By rule, it is assumed that all the activities that fall on the critical paths, their float values will be equal to 0. I know I have a habit of leaving something out as an excuse for another lecture, but I want to mention the right information at the right time, so you don't get confused. Determining critical paths and values is a delicate subject, where a slight mistake in determining numbers for your paths can create a difference between you identifying the right or wrong path as critical path, and basing your calculations and findings accordingly. Your time invested on such questions in exams should be well worth. So coming back to the topic of identifying paths, based on the arrowheads, we see multiple paths. Pause this video and try and determine the paths yourself and mention all the activities in their order that fall in a particular path that you have identified. And then when you play this video, you will see how many paths I have identified. Ready? Okay. Here are the I have managed to identify. These are A, B, C, F, H, J, A, B, C, E, G, I, J, and A, D, G, I, J. 3 paths. Now let me give you a shortcut to determining the critical paths, and this involves adding up all the durations of the activities falling in one of your identified paths. Let's discuss the path ADGIJ. This path involves 5 activities. Add all their durations together to find the value of this path. From the table, the values add up to 26. 5 plus 4 plus 6 plus 6 plus 5. Calculate the rest of the values of identified paths, and the path that has the highest value will be your critical path. So again, the paths and their associated values are mentioned in front of you. Path A, B, C, E, G, I, J will be your critical path, which happens to be the longest, and also the duration that your project will be of. Also relating to the discussion we had in the beginning of this lecture, all the activities that fall on the critical path values will be equal to 0. You may see many values that right now you cannot understand, but they are here as part of upcoming lecture where we will be understanding critical path method using forward and backward passes and calculate total and free float values for every activity. See you in the next lecture.